Welcome to Tea Talks, where young adult stories and church experience blend into a beautiful insight to inspire us. So, grab a cup of tea, sit down, relax as we spill the tea. With me today, I have my good friend Abigail. Abigail, thank you so much for accepting the invitation to be part of this video series. I am just so excited that you're here. And to start, let's get to know you a little better. Why don't you tell us who you are?
Well, as you said, I'm Abigail. I'm really excited to be here too. Thanks for having me. I have been raised in the church. I'm a realtor. I come from a small town with a big family, and I just enjoy hiking, really spending time with my family, and I just love being around people. So
that's wonderful. And I love that you and your sister work together and you guys do all of these TikTok videos showing houses, and they're so much fun. I follow you guys and I have fun every time that you guys have a new video.
Thanks.
You guys are doing a great job, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
How have your understanding, well, we're getting right into it because what we're doing right now, we are actually inspiring this video series in this book called Growing Young, where they did a research to understand what the churches that are thriving with young adults, what are they doing right? Mm-hmm. Because we're losing a lot of our young adults. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that they realized that churches that are doing well, they take the message of Jesus seriously. How did your understanding and commitment to take Jesus' message serious evolved since you were like a teenager, even though you still look like a teenager? And that's a compliment, by the way.
I would say as I've actually gotten older, my relationship with God has been harder to keep as close because as we get older, you know, we get busier and life throws a lot more at us. And so I think it has actually become more of a struggle to make that time to spend with God and continue to grow my relationship with Him.
How do you navigate these challenges, integrating your faith with the other areas of your life, like your career, relationship, and personal growth? So how are you navigating those challenges?
I would just say, as a Christian, how you live your life is your ministry, and that's how you can integrate those things, and how you treat people, I think is really the best way that you can minister to people around you. And I think, it is challenging because, culture and social media has a certain way that we're supposed to be and present ourselves. And sometimes, standing for Jesus or standing for what is right isn't always the easiest. But for me, I just have to remember, that I stand firm in what I believe in my morals, and the people that want to be a part of that are going to grow closer to you because of it.
Do you have any specific experiences or like a specific occasion that you can share with us, that you want to share with us, that your faith was challenged?
Yeah, I mean, in my job, as I said, I am a realtor, and there's certain days that I choose not to work because of my faith, and I have, there's people that'll call you and really pressure you, and sometimes it's easy to just say like, oh no, I'm taking today off, but giving them the reason of why, because I'm a Christian, because I choose to honor this day, has been a little bit hard. And sometimes I don't want to really bring it up. I just want to be like, oh no, I'm not working today. So that has been something that has been challenging. And too, you think about like, well, if I show this house, like maybe I'll get under contract and I'll make money. So sometimes it's putting an opportunity away to honor God.
And I know it's got to be a challenge because in real estate, it's so interesting because like my husband and I always dream to be like independent, not working a 9-to-5 type of job, right? Yeah. Because then we're going to have the freedom to do whatever we want. What a lie. Yeah. What a lie. Because what happens is now you're not working 9-to-5 as your boss wants. Now you're working whatever time your client wants. And clients want to see houses on the weekend.
All the time.
Especially on Sabbath,
Yeah.
So Yeah, that is challenging, and I appreciate so much seeing a young person who says, you know what, God comes first.
Yeah.
And I have seen plenty of times where people chose to not make that money, but God compensated some other way. So you're on the right track.
Thank you.
Have you ever had like any specific mentors that influenced you and supported you in your young adult journey?
I don't necessarily want to say a mentor, because if you know me, you know that I'm not a open book, and I don't necessarily seek out people to talk to and mentor me. But I would say I've had a lot of really great examples in my life
Models.
where I can follow their example and see, you know, ways that they live their life. And to me, that's what a mentor is. It's not necessarily someone that I talk to about this or that, because I am pretty private. But just being able to watch the way, you know, other people act and handle tough situations. I would say quite a few really good people in my life.
So you are the quiet person that observes things and learn from it.
Yeah.
That takes a special skill and very mature young person to learn from those things. Yes. Have you ever, actually, how do you handle the tension between what society is expecting from you and is very countercultural to the teachings of Jesus, like say in your decision making or your lifestyle choices? How do you handle that tension?
At times it can be tough, you know, but I would say being raised in a big family, there's a lot of...
Now I'm curious, how big is your family?
Well, there's 5 siblings total, including myself. Yeah, so it's... And then we didn't have a very large house, so we were very close all the time. And so you do deal with a lot of conflict just like within a big family like that. And I think it has taught me to be a strong person and have a strong feeling for my morals, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I don't think I necessarily struggle. Now there is times where, you know, what I see versus maybe like someone at work, and they will ask me directly because like they want to know my thoughts. And sometimes, the one time I said to him, I was like, "Do you really want to know?" But I think you have to, you know, stand strong, and it's okay if other people don't agree. Like, we're not all going to agree. That's just the way it is, and you just have to be okay with that sometimes. If they ask you to share, you know, I'm one that will, if I'm asked, I'm not going to just like to say like, well, this is my opinion, you need to listen. But if they ask me, I'm willing to stand strong to what I believe, because it's not really about everyone liking you. I mean, it's good to have a lot of people that do like you, but it's, you know, about sharing Jesus. And I think people that need to hear those things, God will put in your place. And I guess that's kind of, does that answer the question?
Yes, it does. And I'm so glad that you're so young and you got to that place, because I became a Christian much older, and I feel like my spiritual maturity came much later too, you know. And one of the things is, once I found out about Christ or the message and everything, I want to force into everybody, you know.
Yeah.
And then one day I learned, no, when they're ready, when they ask me, that's when I share. Otherwise, I'm pushing everybody away because they think you're a lunatic, you know? So I really get what you're saying. Like, if they ask, I'm ready to share.
Yeah.
What role does community play in your commitment to take Jesus' message seriously?
I am blessed because, because the community that I have is a really God-focused community. And, you know, just staying in the church, I've been able to find friends in the church, because I went to a boarding school, and all your friends are from all over the place. So I came back to my small town. I didn't really have any friends. And so I was like, well, I go to church, and that's kind of where I found my community. And then also the people that I work with are really good people. So it's easy when you have a good community around you, and you do have to be intentional to build that community. But when you have a good community around you, it's easy to keep Jesus top of mind, because you feel comfortable to, you know, talk about him. And I think that's what keeps him top of mind, is being able to talk about him. Even
when we are like more introverted, God is still, he made us relational people. And having the friends that, I love to hear that even though you're in a small town, like, what am I going to do now, you know? But at least you found that community. That it's so important. what do you say? What do you have to say to this young person who is struggling with faith and understanding Jesus' message?
I would say, don't make it more complicated than it has to be. I think a lot of times, and it can happen even in church, where you're really pressured that your relationship with God needs to look this way. And if it doesn't look this way, you're not doing it right. And so I think really making it simple. God is all about love. Like, that is it, bottom line. Love God, love people. There's a lot of other things that get thrown into that, but truly, if you focus on God's love, then everything else falls into place, and you're going to want to follow the laws that Jesus has put for us. So really, we can be happy. But if you go opposite and just try to follow, what the rules, you can lose sight of Jesus' love and can really lose sight of the whole point. Like, why am I even doing this? Why am I reading my Bible? Is it just so I can check it off the list, or is it so I can grow to know Jesus deeper? So I just would say, maybe try to do a big refresh and make it simple.
Yeah. Find what is really God calling you to do. Mm-hmm. Don't allow the other pressures to take you away from Jesus.
Yeah.
Abigail, this was wonderful. Thank you so much for spending this time with us, sharing your young wisdom. And I hope we can do this again sometime.
Yeah, thanks so much. I've enjoyed it.
Yes, me too. And thank you for joining Tea Talks. Keep stirring up the conversations and embracing the beautiful and the messiness of life. And until next time.